The inbound methodology now, rather than applying a funnel, applies a flywheel.
I'm Josh Burdick, and today on The Creative Brief, we have Matt Lesinski with us today. Welcome, Matt.
Thank you so much.
Great, and Matt, we're here to talk about inbound marketing and creating inbound content for your business. For our viewers, I would love to know, what is inbound marketing when we talk about inbound?
Yeah, so full disclosure, this is a big topic.
It is.
The real distinction of how I would say, if someone who's interested in learning about inbound communication, is if you take a step back actually and look at traditional sales and traditional communication, as used to be described as working within a funnel. So taking all your leads and making them prospects and then eventually turning them into customers.
Going down that sales process until you get the deal signed and done, and then you're at the bottom of the funnel.
Yep. Yeah. Completely qualifying all throughout that process. When they hit the funnel, the biggest question is, well, now what? Is the big change with it. Yeah. And the inbound methodology now, rather than applying a funnel, applies a flywheel, which is kind of that spinning motion and that creates inertia, and that once someone goes through the cycle, they're able to continue in and actually create more of a lifetime customer and lifetime value.
Right, so you're continuing to engage that customer through support and service and other opportunities for them to do business with you and to produce value for each other.
Yeah, this isn't a one and done kind of transactional relationship. You really want to invest in the time, and that your best customers are in a lot of ways, your current customers. There's a lot of ways that you can deepen relationships with them, really wow them and delight them within using this methodology.
Right, and so this is definitely something that we've adopted for a lot of our clients and for our own content internally. And a lot of this stems from HubSpot and some of the work that they've done in this space. They're kind of the thought leaders in the inbound world, and they've got a lot of great resources on their website. But what are some of the ways that we've been able to use video specifically in an inbound context to provide value, to provide additional support for those layers of that methodology? Yeah.
So with the inbound, there's, as I said, a variety of stages within. So what we've done here at Veritas is try to identify what the common need is, or the common obstacles that clients or prospective clients are feeling within that time frame, and then providing deliverables that can answer those questions and provide those solutions for them. And so that can often take form in the shape of a hero video at the top of a funnel of clients wanting to know who you are and what you're about. And then as they're kind of gauging of like, do I like this company? Do I like what they do? Do they do quality products or services? That's where you can really come in with testimonial videos or case study videos to nurture that lead and to move closer towards closing that sale. And then once you close the sale, that's where I think the real magic can also happen, that extends beyond that traditional funnel. Yeah. And you're able to then do additional instructional videos or common questions and provide that extra layer of service or extra layer of value, so that way they are going to be your biggest fan by the time it's done.
Yeah. I think a good example of inbound, a company that's using it really well is Rad Bikes down in Seattle. I just bought an e-bike from them, and even before I purchased the bike, they had all kinds of content. So as you're looking at a big purchase, trying to figure out, is this right for me? Is this going to work for me? Am I going to regret this decision? They did a great job at preparing you for, this is what to expect when your bike arrives. Here's an assembly video. You can do this. Setting all those expectations up front. Again, you're further down in that initial sales funnel. But the more you get down there, the more interested you are in watching content. So I think that's another thing that we've seen is the duration of content can be different in these different buckets depending on where your buyer is at in that journey. Initially, you might want to grab people with just a really short, video that gets people excited about your brand or informs them about your brand, and then you're working them through that process, and as they get to know you more and they're more interested in specific products, and that's where those more technical videos or those case studies can come in that really make those heavier purchase decisions a lot easier to make and quantify.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of studies out there in terms of and when you're purchasing anything, and you can apply this to any significant purchase, but the anxiety level that a client or customer experiences in terms of uncertainty of whether they should sign the dotted line. I think if you've ever bought a car or a home or any significant purchase, at some point you're like, is this a good idea? Yeah. And so within inbound and pairing some deliverables and some products and services that can answer those questions, you're able to quell those and be like, no, this is the right move to make. This is going to make my life better and provide a ton of value for me. So you're able to move through that process. And so when they're do sign on the dotted line for that, if it is that type of job, they feel great about it and they're going to continue to work with you.
Yeah. And I think to differentiate the type of content that we're creating here too, it's less salesy, less direct call to action. I mean, we definitely have calls to action still, but it's not what you'd think of as a traditional, advertisement or something like that. It's really producing videos or other content that are positioning you as the thought leader and trying to draw people into your brand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The unique element that I would always want to highlight, and we talk about this whenever we go through a discovery meeting with our clients, is what's the next step that you want your clients to take. And so when that could be a very much a direct call to action of buy now, or it could be a learn more, or it could be discover what else the capabilities are available for this. So moving them through the buyer's journey itself is really integral part, and not being, as I like to call it, not being the guy that proposes on the first date. No hating on if you've ever done that, but being able to get to know someone and get to nurture that relationship and be able to foster that in a really healthy, dynamic way, you are able to then create a really long-lasting relationship with them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so there's definitely lots of ways that video can be incorporated into an inbound methodology, and again, we provide all kinds of consultation and discovery meetings with our clients to explain the process a little bit more and to look for opportunities to use video in your marketing efforts. And it's not just marketing either. It can be applied to other areas of your business. I mean, we've seen this a lot with recruitment. Mm-hmm. A lot of businesses looking for new talent, new people to join the team. Treat them the same way that you treat a customer, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, hiring right now in this current era is a big, or is a significant area that people are investing their time and their energy. And so as you're doing recruitment, it's the same kind of process of what's your company about and why would someone want to work with you. And then as you've actually hired someone, whether or not that's onboarding materials, training materials, best practice or standard operating procedures, documenting those pieces in a video format reduces the amount of time and labor that you have to then teach those elements, whereas they have that static deliverable that can be utilized over and over again. It can be a really powerful tool. And I always like to think of start them out on the right foot. I mean, one thing to brag on your behalf here, when someone joins our team at Veritas, we create a welcome video. So our entire team gathers and does an individual direct-to-camera statement saying who they are, what they do, why they're excited to work with this person, and what they're hoping to accomplish in the future by them joining it. And it really just kind of creates that catalyst for, I'm joining a great team and I'm wanting to work with these people and we're going to do some awesome things together. So yeah, inbound methodology and how you kind of progress relationships isn't just exclusively for sales or for external communications. It can very much be applied to internal uses.
Yeah, awesome. Well, that seems like, we're just scratching the surface of inbound, but there's a ton of information out there. Encourage you to check that out. It's a great methodology if you haven't started using it to think about for your business and how to really get results that speak to your customers, treat people like people, and respect their time and their intelligence, and to be able to provide valuable content that really resonates with your brand. So there's lots of ways that inbound can be incorporated into your business, into your marketing strategy, into your recruitment strategy. Encourage you to reach out if you have any questions or if you'd like some help figuring out what that next step is to get your business to that point. This has been another great episode, and I've enjoyed the conversation, Matt. Thanks for joining me here today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. And in our next episode, we'll get to sit down with Emily Butts Osterberry and hear a little more from her. Until then, we'll see you soon.